Good afternoon and welcome to Brighton Broadcaster News. I'm Jessie Williams. A report from Sussex Police has revealed there has been over 1,000 reported knife crimes in the last year, an 11% increase from 2018. This comes after a man aged 21 was stabbed outside the Royal Pavilion Tavern in the early hours of Sunday morning. The police only released the information yesterday, but are attributing the rise in knife crime to the lack of community support officers on the streets. Since 2015, police numbers have shrunk by 7,000. However, it is understood that more officers will be recruited by 2021. Brighton and Hove City Council have announced their support for a grassroots campaign, Say No to Unpaid Trial Shifts. The organisation was set up last summer by students who aim to end the unfair practice of trialling potential employees without pay. Brighton Councillor Amanda Evans says the council want to collaborate with businesses to put an end to free labour, which she says is unethical and unacceptable. The chief executive of a Sussex charity, which was recently burgled, has criticised the thieves. They stole cameras, computers and cash from Brighton-based Amaze, which supports disabled children. The charity, based on Queen's Road, had held a fundraiser the night before. Chief Executive Rachel Travers says she can sympathise with the people if they are desperate, but feels this crime is truly unacceptable. In breaking news, Prime Minister Boris Johnson has said that he will abandon the current proposed Brexit bill if the Commons cannot agree to his bill and his 31st October deadline for exit from the EU. Instead, he'll push for a general election. Hove MP Peter Kyle says Boris Johnson does not want MPs to have too long to scrutinise the withdrawal agreement bill. 322 MPs voted to delay the deal on Saturday, the first time in 37 years the House has met on a weekend. The Prime Minister will seek the backing for his bill in the House of Commons later today. A petition to restore 3 of the arches on Brighton's Madeira Terrace has reached nearly 3,000 signatures. The council needs to raise £23 million for its complete restoration, and it's such a huge cost, the question remains how and when this will happen. Phoebe Doolan reports.
Constructed in the 1890s, Madeira Terrace is one of Brighton's most dated structures. Nevertheless, it is so well loved by locals. Stretching a monumental 865 metres, the terrace is formed of 151 separate arches, with the original purpose of promenading. However, over time, the terrace has become dilapidated. I will be speaking to petition leader Jack Atkins later on today, who is determined to fully restore the terrace.
Brighton's roads could soon be getting greener. That is, if new government plans to encourage more electric vehicles is successful. Here's Tom Palmer.
An electric vehicle company in Brighton have welcomed plans to introduce new green-coloured number plates for electric vehicles. Brighton Electric says it will promote clean energy by increasing incentive to make the switch from polluting diesel and petrol engines to more environmentally friendly electric cars. The green number plates will allow for easy recognition of electric vehicles, meaning that owners could potentially make use of bus lanes and discounted parking. The new government proposal comes following last week's news that Brighton and Hove City Council will be installing around 200 new electric charging points like this one by January next year. I'm Tom Palmer for Brighton Broadcaster News.
Well, after last week's constant downpours, this week's weather is set to finally brighten up. Mariam has a detailed forecast.
As we look at tomorrow's forecast, there will be a bit of rain set to happen. Temperatures will start off low but will rise to 14 to 15 degrees in the afternoon. But for today, as you can see, the sun is out despite the cold chill. And as for the rest of the week, strong weather fronts from the southeast will bring a window of dry weather throughout the rest of the week. That's all for today. I'm Mariam Shabwale, reporting for Brighton Broadcaster News.
Well, that's all for now, but you can find out more on these stories and other news on Twitter at BBN_UOB and on our Instagram at Brighton Broadcaster News. I'm Jessie Williams. Join me again at 3:30.